Welcome to Making Sense with Meka, the podcast. The Making Sense with Meka podcast is a journey where we'll explore the truth of everyday life from my experiences and my perspective. We'll ask the hard questions in an attempt to make it all make sense. Hey y'all, it's your girl Meka just coming to you this evening to chat it up, talk a little bit. And I want to know, who are you? Who am I? Who is anyone? Do you really take the time to figure out who you are? And I'm not referring to who you are as far as I'm a mother or I'm a father, I work for this company. I'm not talking about your titles. I'm not talking about what you do for a living. I'm not talking about your responsibilities. I'm talking about who are you at your core. Like, have you ever taken the time to just reflect on your life? Reflect on everything that you've been through, the things that make you who you are, the things that you like, the things that you dislike. Are you just existing? Are you walking through this life and you liking everything that everybody else likes? Are you brainwashed? Or are you enjoying things because that's what my mama did or that's what my daddy did? I know growing up as a little girl, my father worked a lot during the week. He worked for corporate America. He was a Monday through Friday type of guy, and most times he was going to work before I even got up for school in the morning. And by the time he came home from work, we were headed to bed or already in bed. So me and my sister began to spend our weekends trying to be as close to him as possible. And when I say that, it meant anything that he was into on the weekends, that's what we wanted to do too. We wanted to be around our dad because we didn't get to see him during the week. Luckily enough for us, on Saturday mornings, he would get up, he would make pancakes for me and my sister, and he would watch cartoons with us. And that was one of the ways we got close to him. But another way was my father was a big, avid sports fan. Any Cleveland team, he was on it. The Browns, the Cavs, the Indians, it didn't matter. He was just a Cleveland sports fan. Cleveland, born, bred, and raised. So we would watch sports with my dad. We adapted to learning and wanting to be a part of the sports world to be close to him. So we learned to love it, but at the same time, was that who we were? Was that what we really liked? Was that what we really enjoyed? Or were we doing it because we wanted to spend time with our dad and be close to him? What I'm saying to you all is, evaluate your life. Evaluate the things that you are involved in. Evaluate the things that take up space in your life, to see if those are the things that you truly enjoy, or are you just doing it because somebody else likes it. The reason this is so important is because you could spend 5, 10, 20 years with someone, and maybe not even in a relationship, but a friendship. You know what I'm saying? Just being with someone and doing things that they like and enjoy. Then that friendship, relationship can end, and you're stuck not knowing what it was you truly enjoyed, not knowing what you truly liked, not knowing your own passions, because you spent so much time enjoying or being a part of what they liked or what they enjoyed. Perfect example is, I've known a couple of women lost their spouses. They had been married for 20 plus years and their spouses passed away. At that point in their life, they were this man's wife and their kid's mother. Well, when their spouses passed away, the kids were grown. So these women who lost their husbands, they had to begin to find themselves. They didn't know the things that they enjoyed. They didn't know the things that they liked. They know the things that they did with their spouse. They know the things that they did with and for their children. But did they know who they truly were? Now they were no longer such and such wife. They were no longer such and such mom. And they had no idea who they were as a person, what they enjoyed, where they liked to go, what they liked to eat, the things that set their souls on fire. They had lost that part of themselves. And I'm not saying to be so involved in yourself that you aren't giving to others, that you aren't building others up. What I'm saying is, don't forget about yourself. Don't forget to cultivate what makes you. Don't forget to enjoy some of the life's simple pleasures that make you happy. Take the time out to notice when your spirit and your soul feels happy, when you feel free and when you feel light, when things feel easy and not forced, but when it's just for you. Whether it's getting your nails done, getting a pedicure, getting your hair done, reading a book, the things that make your soul feel free, the things that excite you. Those are the things that you have to build around who you are and who you're becoming. Whether it's you're seeking out knowledge about life or different spirituality, but what is it that makes you feel alive? Don't spend 10, 20, 30 years enjoying what everyone around you loves. And then you forget about yourself and you look up and you sit back twiddling your thumbs and you like, well, who am I? Where do my pleasures come from? What do I like? You spent so much time neglecting yourself that you have to start from ground zero. I read a quote somewhere that stated, in order to receive what's meant for you, you first have to become you. So there's a life out there, there's a purpose out there for your life that is waiting on you to become who you're supposed to be. But if you're not actively pursuing that, if you're not actively engaging in that, if you are not actively seeking out the part of you that you need to build yourself, that passion or that purpose, that cause is never realized. So every day you get up, you go to work, you take care of your family, you pay your bills. You might go out with the girls on the weekend, you might hang out with the fellas and watch a game of football or this or that. But at the end of the day, you spent your life working and paying bills and taking care of other folks. What about you? So many people, I believe, leave this earth and they have no idea who they are at their core. They haven't truly enjoyed life and they haven't truly had an opportunity to fulfill their purpose and to be the best self that they can be. I think there's so many people that have such greater missions. And when I say that, I'm a little bit talking about myself. I don't think I even realized or began to take account for who I was until I was about 39 years old. And then that's when I stopped the people pleasing. I stopped doing what society expected me to do. I stopped doing what I thought my parents would make them happy, would make them proud. I stopped doing what others expected of me. And I started living my life to be happy for me because I deserved it. Because I needed to find out who I was. My kids were getting older. They didn't need me as much. They were beginning to, embark upon their own lives. And I had to determine, what makes Tamika happy? What journeys do you want to embark upon? And a prime example is my locks, my hair. Some of you might not know me. I've had locks now going on September will be 4 years. And when I first realized that I wanted to lock my hair, or I was enamored with women with locks and the way that they looked and just the beauty of them, was probably like 2007. I didn't lock my hair till 2016. So I was almost 10 years behind myself because I was so afraid of the judgment or what people would think, how would I look until they grew out to where I was comfortable with them. I was so worried about what everybody else thought. I could probably be 14 years into my lock journey right now had I done it when I truly wanted to, when I was excited about it, and I was like, oh, those are beautiful. I would love to have locks, but everybody around me seemed to have a prejudgment of them. Instead of doing what made me feel free and excited, I continued to walk upon a path that really wasn't for me anymore. And eventually I got to who I wanted to be, but it took some courage. It took some bravery to say, who cares what anybody else thinks? This is my head. This is my hair. I need to do what makes me feel happy. I need to do what makes me feel good about myself when I look in the mirror in the morning. Not what my mother may think, not what corporate America may think, or not what my friends may think, but what do I think about myself? Where's the love for myself? Enough love for myself to do what makes me feel good. And that's the point that I had to get to. And that's all a part of getting to know yourself. Beginning to do the things that make you feel good. As long as you're not hurting anyone, you're free. You are free to do what makes you happy and to begin to self-evaluate and find out what things you like about yourself. Who are you? Who are you? You're more than someone's mother or father. You're more than the company that you work for. You're more than your entrepreneurship. You're more than that. Who are you? What makes you? What are your true core values and morals, and what makes up your character? Not what your mama told you were supposed to be, not what your grandma said you were supposed to believe in. What do you believe in? What knowledge are you seeking for yourself? Or are you just accepting everything that you've ever been told? All of this is a part of getting to who you are. And this is a mission that I don't judge people on, because at the end of the day, it takes work, it takes courage, it takes bravery, it takes time. When you are an adult and you get up every morning and you go to work and you pay your bills and you come home, you cook dinner, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of time left to figure out who you are. So you really have to be self-reliant and self-disciplined in making that a priority. It should be a priority. It should be something that you make steps towards each and every day. But it's not easy. It's not going to be something that becomes habit for you unless you make it a habit, unless you actually fight for that time to become who you want to be. Take a few moments and ask yourself, who am I? Take a few moments and write down 5 things that you like. Not what your friends like, what your friends are into, but what you like. 5 things. Take just a few moments, jot them down, and see what you come up with. If it takes you more than 10 minutes to think of 5 things that you like about life, or that you enjoy, or things that make you feel free, or that set your spirit on fire and that excites you, you got some work to do. Because you're missing out on life. You're missing out on things that could be presented to you, that could be brought your way, because you haven't even figured out who you are yet. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. That was a quote that I read that was given by Aristotle. But that's so deep, because we think we're so wise, we think we're so smart, we think we know everything, and don't even know ourselves. How the hell are you going to tell somebody about something and you don't know who you are? Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. You can't be wise if you don't even know you. Because really what you're sharing is what has been downloaded into you, what has been given to you, what's been told to you your whole life. Could be true, could be fiction. Do you know? Have you taken the time to really sort out and think about what it is you believe in, what you hold true and dear to you, what makes sense to you, what feels right for your spirit and your soul? Without that, you don't know yourself. So you can give people advice, but 9 times out of 10 it's baseless. 9 times out of 10 it's advice that you've gotten from somewhere else, because you haven't searched within yourself to know what the truth is. Truth is what we make it. Truth is what makes sense to us, what feels right. Everybody has a journey. Everybody has an opportunity to embark upon the life that they desire. But you have to seek it out. And I think one of the biggest failures that come along with all of this is comparing yourself to others. So you look at your sister or your homegirl, or you look at your homeboy and he got new this or new that, or he living this certain type of life and everything seems so easy and free, and you keep comparing yourself and saying, well, why he got all of this? He really ain't all that. Or you look at your homegirl and she married and she got 2 kids and she has a beautiful home and her husband is a great provider, and you're thinking, wow, what a life she lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is truly blessed. But you don't know what goes on when she walks through her front door. You don't know what she's feeling inside. Homegirl could be depressed and full of anxiety, but she gets dressed up every day and she goes out and she jumps into her car, and you see her out at work or you see her out at brunch and you thinking, wow, she got it all together, when really she's just suffering in silence. So you sitting back and you wishing you had somebody else's life, or you envious of this person, and you not knowing what she really suffering with, or what she really dealing with. We spend so much time looking at everybody else's story instead of cultivating our own. You have to cultivate your own story. You have to create your own life. And you can only do that by getting to know yourself. Take the time. I'm telling you, it is so worth it. Don't get 39 like me and you wasted 25 years of not knowing yourself, of not truly being in touch with who you are. And it's so funny because Cat Williams is a clown, and everybody knows Cat Williams. He's a great comedian. He tells wonderful jokes, and he also stays in a lot of bullshit. However, Cat Williams said it best. You got to be your own star player. You got to be your own MVP. How can you be that if you don't know who you are? You just pretending to be your star player because you ain't figured out who you are yet. Put in some time, put in some effort to determine what you like. Stop being scared to go out to eat by yourself. Stop being scared to go see a movie by yourself because nobody else wants to go see that movie. You ain't went and seen the movie yet because nobody want to go with you. Stop being afraid to embark upon new journeys and figure out what you like and what excites you. As long as you stand in fear, you're never going to be able to be who you are. You'll never be able to break free of everything that you've been told, taught, or given. It's up to you to decide what life you want. It's up to you to become your very best self. And I say all this to say as well, this is not about perfection. This is not about being perfect. This journey is constant. Every day that you wake up, every day that I wake up, I have to reflect on who I was yesterday and what I did yesterday. I reflect on what things made me happy yesterday, what things brought me joy, what things made me sad, what things drained my energy. Those are the things that in that time of reflection, you're able to say, okay, I think that that's part of who I am. This makes me feel free. This makes me feel excited. That drained me. I'm tired. Corporate America, for people who work those type of jobs, know that it can be some people love it, but for others it can just be a source of draining energy. And then you do things outside of work that excites you and makes you feel alive. Cling to those things. Begin to search those things out more. Begin to seek out opportunities to do those things because that's who you are. That's where the passion is. That's where the purpose is. That's where you're supposed to be spending your time. But every day that you wake up, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a perfect journey. It's not going to be all roses. Some days you're going to wake up and you're not going to want to think about what happened yesterday or what made you feel good or what didn't make you feel good. So it's not about perfection, but it's about taking the time and the opportunity while you have it to get to who you are, because that's where your success is going to lie. If you are spinning your wheels, if you're trying to figure out your next move, if you're confused about where you stand in this world, if you feel forgotten about, if you feel lost, figure out who you are. The one thing about the Making Sense with Meka podcast, I'm never going to come to y'all with just a bunch of questions. Anytime I have a question for you, I'm going to try to provide some answers or some logic or some tips or tools to help you get to the answers and the logic. So I do have 6 simple steps to finding out who you are. Well, I don't know how simple they are, but some steps you could take to help you find out who you are. The first one is be quiet. Get alone. Get some time by yourself where there's no noise, where there's no chaos, where there's no gossip, where there's nobody in your ear telling you what you should think. Cut off the TV, turn off the radio. Sometimes you got to step away from the social media and just release all of that extra energy and just be quiet and reflect. Think about your life. Think about where you've come from. Think about the times that you were happy and think about the times that you were sad and build upon that. But without the cease of the noise, without the quietness, you can't hear yourself. You can't get to yourself. And if you can't hear your own thoughts, how can you determine who you are? How can you even begin your journey? How can you figure it out? Can't. Second, realize who you truly are and not who you want to be. To get to who you want to be, you got to know who you are right here. Because some things are going to have to change. We're not born into this world who we want to be. Most times we're born into this world with other people's baggage, other people's broken dreams, other people's hopes and wishes, and all those things are embedded in us, and we're carrying them around. And then we come up with this concoction of who we want to be. But to get to who you want to be, you got to realize first who you are. What things do you need to change about yourself? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Those are the things that you have to be real with yourself about. So getting to know yourself, like I said, it's not about being perfect because it's not an easy journey. It's scary. It's uncomfortable. You're going to have to take yourself out of your comfort zone, and you're going to have to say, you know what? I don't like the fact that I be on the phone gossiping a lot. Or I don't like the fact that I'm always feel like I'm hating on somebody or down on people. I don't like the fact that I'm so judgmental. But I do like the fact that I'm a caring person. I do like the fact that I look out for others. I do like the fact that, when a friend calls me in need, I'm readily available for that friend. It takes time and self-reflection to know who you are, then determine how you're going to become who you want to be. Third, find out what you're good at and what you're not so good at. For me, I've always been a big communicator. Even as a kid, I could talk my way out of some stuff. Mostly butt whoopings, but whatever. But I've always been a communicator. I've always been able to talk to people. I've always been able to express myself verbally and in written form as well, but mostly verbally. I feel comfortable in that arena, so I'm good at it. Where I don't feel so comfortable is mechanical stuff, doing stuff with my hands. I ain't really too good at that. I'm kind of clumsy. I fall a lot. I don't know. I might break a finger or something. I ain't really trying to be in the arts and crafts or the fixing things. That's not my play. I deal with communicating with others and getting things done in that manner. So find out your strengths and find out your weaknesses again. Find out what you're good at and what you're not so good at. That's a part of the process of figuring out who you are so you can become who you want to be. 4, find your passion. What makes your spirit feel alive? It's so funny because a few weeks back during Juneteenth and maybe like a couple days before, I started this post about black-owned businesses. And people were posting their black-owned businesses, and I was supporting them, and I was posting about different black-owned businesses, and I felt so good. I felt so alive, and I'm going to figure out a way to be able to be more a part of that community and be more a part of pushing that forward because that makes me feel good. I feel like I'm a part of a different world. I feel like that I'm supporting my people. I feel like that I'm supporting people that need my support. And so I want to figure out a way to be more a part of that. Figure out a way where I can use my platform and use myself to be able to elevate others in their businesses. Because I felt excited about it. I felt alive about it. So I know that's one of my passions. You don't have to have just one passion. You can have multiple passions. So I know that that's on my list. That's something that, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, how can I be a more a part of buying black and supporting black businesses and getting the word out there about black businesses and being a part of cultivating and encouraging others to shop black. So that's on my list of things to do because it makes me feel good. Not because it's a trend, not because it's hot. It's because it makes me feel good. I like it. I like it a lot. 5, ask for feedback. And when I say this, don't go get your friend with all the Debbie Downer, the friend who always got something negative to say. Ask people that you really trust their opinion on things. Not so you can become who they say you should become, but just ask them, like, what do you think I'm good at? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were in a jam, what would you call me to do? Get feedback from others because those things might help you to figure out, well, dang, I never thought that I was good at that, but now that you mention it, I've heard that a couple of times, that people come to me for fixing things or working out problems. And then you can use that to further determine your passion and your purpose. All of those things are going to help you determine who you are. And finally, 6, assess your relationships. Who are you around? What type of energy is in your circle? Who comes around you? Who brings good vibes? Who brings negative and draining energy? You have to assess the people that you're around. And that goes for friends, family, co-workers. And some people you have to limit your interaction with because some people are just not happy. They're miserable and they just want to sit around. They want to complain. They don't want no solutions. They don't want no answers. They just want to complain. They just want to fuss and be unhappy and they want to sit in their misery. If you're really, really trying to get to who you are and your self-discovery, you can't be around people like that. You can't be around people who only have negative things going on, who only want to be involved in drama and mess, and who only want to gossip. How you going to get quiet when your homegirl you hang with all the time, all she doing is calling you with somebody else's business? You can't get quiet like that. You have to begin to surround yourself with people that encourage you, that motivate you, that inspire you. And it's not to become who they are, but it's to further help you look at who you are, and then also to assess who you want to be. So finally, when it comes to knowing who you are, or just taking a journey to figure out who you are, I'm here to tell you that it's worth your time. It's worth staying up a little bit later to read maybe a self-help book, or to listen to a podcast, to go enjoy a movie by yourself, or to go eat your favorite food that nobody else in your house seems to like. Don't be afraid to do things alone, and take a chance on yourself. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition to lead you in the right direction. Ask yourself daily, who am I? What did I do today that I enjoyed? What made me happy? What made my spirit feel alive? And then do more of that, and you will get to who you are. All right, y'all, that was Making Sense with Meka. Hopefully we got to the bottom of who you are, and if not, take the journey. All right, so we come to the end of the podcast, where at the end of every podcast, I'm going to do a short Ask Meka segment where people are able to send me emails and send out an anonymous post with questions that they might have that I'm willing to discuss. Everything I receive an email, I might not have an opinion about, but for my audience, for my friends, for my family, I'm going to do the research to try to get you the answers you're looking for. So on today's segment of Ask Meka, I got a question. Why are there so many single successful women? I like that. I like that question, because I think about that a lot myself. Why are there so many single successful women? And the short answer, I believe, is men are intimidated by successful women. Men want to feel needed. Men need to feel like even if you don't need saving, if you ever did, they could save you. They don't like feeling like you might have to save them. They want to be, and it's natural, it's all a part of nature. They want to be the savior. They want to be the provider, and they want to be the protector. So when a woman is more successful than them, they feel intimidated. It's not a comfortable setting for them. And I believe there's a lot of men out there that are probably missing their blessings by steering away from women who they believe might be more successful than them. And that's something that needs to change. That's something that, people need to evaluate themselves with and determine whether, am I not interested in this woman because she looks so successful and she looks like she has it all together and she might not need me, or am I just, not interested? Am I doing this out of fear? I believe successful women intimidate even successful men. They want to be able to save you. And a lot of women, a lot of us, unfortunately these days, we don't need saving. We need companions. We want love. We want attention. We want friendship. I don't need you to save me, bruh. I can save myself. I need you to come along for the ride. I need you to motivate me. I need you to encourage me. I need you to be happy for me. I need you to clap when I win, because guess what? I want to be all of that for you. I want to encourage you. I want to motivate you. I want to be your biggest cheerleader, your number one fan. And all I need you to do is return the favor. So I guess what I'm saying is, man, stop worrying about so much about what success she may have, because that successful woman, get her in your corner. If you're not successful, you will be, because she's going to push you. She's going to motivate you. She's going to encourage you. And she's going to become your inspiration if you allow her to be. Don't let fear block you from being with a woman who can turn your whole life around. Take a chance. But don't go out there stepping into these successful women and you ain't ready for it. Or you ain't got no true interest in being successful and being on her level and getting to it together. Don't go out there disturbing women who, you know what I'm saying, whether they're successful or not. Don't go out there disturbing women that you ain't got no intentions on being bothered with. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not truly interested, you really don't want to have her back, and you don't, leave that woman alone. Let her continue to do what she's doing. But if you want somebody to be in your corner, somebody to ride for you, somebody to look out for you, somebody to encourage and motivate you, Don't let fear block that because she's successful. Iron sharpens iron. So if she's successful and that's where you trying to get to, or you already successful, y'all only gonna make each other better. You only gonna make each other the better. So all I can tell you is take a chance. Don't be afraid of that. And successful women, don't settle. Don't settle for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like if you talking to a guy and he might not have a 6-figure salary, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what does he want out of life? What is he talking about? Where's his mindset? If he's trying to encourage you and trying to motivate you and also motivating himself and going out there and getting to it, then y'all can make magic together. I believe in love, and I believe love truly can conquer all. But we got to work together. We got to love one another, and we got to be there for one another, and we got to stop letting fear block that. All right, y'all. That's Ask Meka. We making it make sense.